Mike, you did not have a boring time in Nebraska by any means.
Not at all.
Lincoln, they say.
On Sunday, lots of sitting in airports on Sunday. But other than that,
that's Lincoln for you.
Sorry to.
So if you're getting recruited, Roman Clay, to Nebraska, maybe think about that.
Think it through, big fella.
First of all, the weather was nice there for change in Lincoln.
76 degrees at kickoff.
Wow.
It was windy, but still. Wow.
This was a game that Penn State should have won. Again, I look on this season, there's many games that they have on the loss column that should have been wins. This is one that I thought, take away the controversy, we're going to get to that in a second. This team could have won this game if they just held on to the ball and executed a little bit better. But the fumbles...
Could have.
I
mean,
this is one they were very competitive.
I don't know about should have, but I would say certainly could have. I mean, Nebraska fumbled on the 1 yard line.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
Nebraska.
Great play by Mike Mounty.
Nebraska.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, all right. Nebraska sputtered in the end zone, in the red zone, too. I mean, you know what I mean?
It is. And I will say this. This is a year they're not going anywhere anyhow, but you have to be proud of what you're seeing on the field from these guys. They've been very impressive. The TD play, where they reach in across, in the NFL, that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. And it sure looked like on replays that they got it. What are you hearing from the replay? Did you ever get a response from the replay officials?
No, we did not. We did the old. We're going to request a pool reporter to go talk to the refs, and the Nebraska Sports Information people granted that, and we talked to the crew chief though. We talked to the referee, not the replay official, and he basically said, "Well, ultimately, it's the responsibility of the replay official to make the call." But the replay official, as we all know, is much less likely to overturn than he is to uphold. And Bo Pelini, I thought kind of graciously said this after the game. Thank goodness that we got the call on the field because they're not going to turn it over. You know what I mean? Right. They're not going to turn it. But I have seen at least 3 different photos, one of which Matt McGloin himself sent out on Twitter that really emphatically seemed to show that there's no question that it was a touchdown. But there were 7.5 minutes left in the game at the time. It's not an automatic that they would have won the game even if it had been called a touchdown. It's not an automatic that they wouldn't have either, though. So, I mean, there have been some crazy things with officiating this season, and it just lends to the whole big picture of looniness that surrounds this program right now.
I'm glad you brought up McGloin because he fits the redheaded stepchild to a T. He's a fiery redhead like me when I had hair. He has got this theory that they're out to get him, and not that the Big Ten is out to get Penn State. And the Ohio State game, the controversial holding play where the guy was clearly trying to defend his legs. There was a play on the sideline in this last game, right, where they called it sideline interference. Sideline interference
because the official running down the sidelines on a punt apparently made contact with one of the Penn State players. So that was sideline interference. And
you don't see these plays called very much.
Strange things indeed.
Is this just magnified because of what happened in the offseason, or are these just strange calls, or is there a conspiracy? Are they out to get Penn State? You're the beat writer. What have you seen?
Well, I don't want to believe that they're out to get Penn State. Of course, I mean,
I want to believe there's a Santa Claus too, but I think they're out to get them.
Well, but we've seen some very, very strange things.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I don't think it was wise of Matt McGloin to come out and say that and fuel the fire of this. I mean, I wish he would not have done that, and I'm sure Bill O'Brien wishes he had not done that, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Matt McGloin is not being made available to us this week, which he has been, I think, every other week of the season. Not a coincidence there.
Okay, let's go forward a little bit here. They played well against Nebraska on the road in Lincoln. Got to be a confidence builder. This is one that they, you even had a quote in there saying this. Did we let one slip away from one of the defensive players? How do they approach Indiana and then Wisconsin for the ST? What do you see as positives?
Well, I don't see any evidence that the team is going to have a letdown. They've been sort of on this crusade all year. It's a unique situation. Indiana can't stop anybody from running the ball. They should be able to kill Indiana on the line of scrimmage, and they should be okay. And I think they have in the season finale, I think they have a good chance to beat Wisconsin too. I mean, 8-4 would be pretty strong. Would be pretty strong.